And welcome back to Zanpakuto Creation Series. Today's Zanpakuto Creation Series request comes to us. Where's my Zanpakuto? There's my Zanpakuto. I have the wrong book in my hand here. Comes to us from. Where is it? 1 second. I'll get there. Don't worry. We're almost there. Give us just a moment to figure things out. Where is the person who gave me this request? Comes to us from. You know what? I'll put it in the comments below because right now I can't find it. It's bugging me why I can't find it, but I'll do that later. Anyway, Scarecrow, the Scarecrow from DC. Now, being precise, I'm using the animated picture here, but I'm not actually doing the animated Scarecrow. I'm just doing the Scarecrow in general. This is just the image I found that works on the works for the image right here. Scarecrow, Dr. Crane is, well, he's a psychiatrist and a scientist in his own right. He's experimenting and loving the concept of fear and what it does to the human body, to the point where he's become so desensitized to fear, exposure to his own fear toxin, experiencing everything, that when Batman was dead during the War of Light, the only thing that could actually make him afraid, that could make him feel fear again, was the thought of Batman himself. So, honestly, I liken his Zanpakuto basically to a Zanpakuto Shinigami version of Asnot, the Stern Ritter, who had the ability of the fear. Basically, a Keto illusion type. A sealed style would be a katana. Its release would be Weep and Despair. Shikai name is Crying Angel. Bankai name is Fallen Angel's Tears. Or, in this case, for Shikai, Nako Tenshi. Or Bankai Daitenshi Namida. It would be basically kind of like a decrepit angel that's constantly flowing with tears, black wings. Not quite rotten, but very just old and feeble. It takes the form, not shockingly, of a scythe, I would imagine. Kind of like not even a very ornate scythe. I mean, it wouldn't be just like a pole with a blade in it, but it would have it might look almost like a wooden a reaping, not quite a reaping scythe. That's a what's the word I'm looking for? A harvesting scythe. So a bit more jagged or hooked, a bit more curved, the blade's a bit more jutting off at the end, and he holds it with a handle in his that's on the hand. There is a handle on the handle of the blade that you hook. With most scythes, you have the standard body of the scythe. We're talking about wheats think words here. Sides used for harvesting. With harvesting sides, there's the handle, and then there's usually a grip on the handle. That's what this looks like. He doesn't wield it like the Grim Reaper one-handed, which is throwing aside. No, he does wield it with two hands. He's just got a good effective reach with it. Kind of like a tonfa. He can kind of hold it like a tonfa if he needs to and flip it around a bit. What the Shikai does is very simple. When it cuts an opponent, if it cuts, it strikes fear into whatever it cuts. The more it cuts, the deeper the amount of fear. And this can be so much as cause hallucinations, as with Asnot. Eventually, maybe your heart gives out. You're freaking out, going insane. This allows you to come in and just get the decapitation move or the slicing and dicing in there. Bankai, though, gets a little bit more biblical because the blade starts leaking black miasma, similar to what Bargain does, and what Asnot also kind of does. And it just kind of rolls over Victor. I keep saying Victor. It's not, his name's not Victor Crane. It's oh God, what is what's it? Scarecrow. Is it? I don't think it's Victor Crane. Is it? Jonathan Crane. Why do I think Victor Crane? Jonathan Crane. It leaks over. He's basically wearing this almost ooze-like miasma of angel-like wings that are just dripping. His scythe becomes a bit more jagged, larger, more blades are coming out, or sharper edges. It might even get the dual scythe approach where it's double scythed. So, and scythe are pointing at both ends. And he looks basically kind of like an angel of death. It's fear is the glue that binds us all together. and now you will experience it. And he can now, and it has the same ability he had previously, striking induces fear, but now he's also got these black, gooey wing miasma, fear inducement. Basically, I've kind of turned Asnot into a Shinigami a little bit here. If I were to do Asnot, I'd probably do this for his, this probably would also be his Zanpakuto, more or less. I might just change the name. Maybe do some minor differences here or there. But yeah, and he's like now congesting out this black gook that just, it's heightening the fear, adrenaline's pumping. And yeah, it would be a very unfortunate ability for a lot of people to go up against. Now, just like with Asnot, though, there are problems with this ability. A, Shikai is still a close range ability. It can do jack shit against non-sentient objects from a long range distance. The Bankai does have range, but the miasma itself doesn't do any damage. It's more trying to enhance fear and all that. The sight is what does damage. But the big issue here, apart from the Ryatsu versus Ryatsu thing, is willpower. Fear is the enemy of will, but will is the enemy of fear as well. And there are individuals who just don't experience fear very well. Like I'll eventually do a re-ranking of like Shinigami, stuff like that. Except instead of just putting them against each other, I'm putting them against all the main of like opponents of Bleach, Arankart, and Sturmitter, including Asnot, who, for example, he initially got the best of Byakuya, but Byakuya ultimately overcame that. Same with Rukia. I also don't think he'd do well against like an Urahara or a Genryusai or a Kenpachi or an Ichibei or anything like that. Like individuals who can just ignore those kind of feelings are individuals that are a big problem for people who use this type of ability. But anyway, this is what I think when I think of a Zanpakuto for Jonathan Crane. I think that would work pretty well, in my opinion. That being said, what do you think? Do you think this would be a good type of Zanpakuto for him or something different? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you folks next time. Later.